Currently, there are over 45 million citizens in the United States living under the poverty line. This number has fluctuated over the years and is a goal for all politicians to get this number down to zero. We wanted to see what life was really like for someone living this lifestyle. Mary Turner, a citizen of Manhattan, Kansas, graciously accepted our request to film and get the perspective of the life under the poverty line.
What is your name?
Mary Turner.
How old are you?
I'm 45.
Are you currently employed, or what is your employment situation?
I'm currently unemployed, but I spend a lot of my time volunteering at the Flint Hills Discovery Center. Being unemployed is really stressful because I only get money through Social Security, which is barely enough to live and support my family, let alone do things I may enjoy, like getting a gym membership.
Along with Mary and her husband, 13 million people are unemployed in America. Ever since she was a child, her parents were unable to raise her out of poverty. With that, she hasn't had many chances to participate in activities or sports. According to Simon Marshall and other researchers at the Department of Exercise and Nutritional Sciences at San Diego State University, you are more likely to be physically inactive the less income you have. In fact, the prevalence of inactivity for people making less than $25,000 is about twice as much as people earning more than $75,000.
Are you married? Do you have kids?
I am married. My husband has a physical disability, so he needs a lot of assistance around the house, and he's not able to work, which results in more financial burdens for my family. I have 3 boys in high school. They attend Manhattan High School. It's hard for my kids to be involved at school because I need them home helping their father or working to bring in money, so they also are not very physically active. I'm thankful Manhattan High School provides free and reduced lunches for my kids.
Do you yourself have any physical ailments?
I have arthritis, thyroid problems, and I've had a heart attack several years back. I'm on a lot of medications. These conditions hinder my ability to get a job or live a healthy lifestyle.
Due to her chronic diseases, Mary was forced into unemployment and prevented her from getting physically active. Both her and her husband will most likely be in the state for the rest of their lives unless something changes. The correct health care she needs is out of her reach, which will lead to the worsening of her conditions.
So you said you get money from Social Security. How much money do you get from government assistance?
Typically we get about $200 a month from the government. Feeding a family of 5 with this is nearly impossible. We have to use coupons and deals at the grocery store Hy-Vee. Even then, we struggle to make it through the month with this money. We have to get cheap meals that aren't very healthy in order to make the $200 last throughout the month.
What levels of education have you received?
I did not graduate high school. A lot of people in this neighborhood did not graduate high school. This hurts my ability to get a job, and I don't have enough money to take the GED. Most people, like I said, in my neighborhood don't graduate high school, and it's just an endless cycle of poverty.
According to the same article by Simon Marshall and his colleagues, education level will likely influence physical activity participation. Although it is not as great as a predictor as income, education is still a determinant that people like Mary cannot access.
What's your housing situation?
I live on Colorado Street here in Manhattan. It's a low-class neighborhood, and it's run down with busy streets, so it's hard to go on walks or do any type of physical activity.
So you'd say your environment is not conducive to promoting physical activity?
Right, it's pretty unsafe to go outside and just go on a walk or a jog with all the traffic and the busy streets. And I also don't have a lot of energy because we can't afford to get good meals to sustain my energy, and it would be impossible for my family to afford a gym membership. However, I do get some physical activity, just like walking or biking to the store and walking to my volunteer position.
Mary only gets about 135 minutes a week of physical activity with no muscle strengthening. This is well below the guidelines of 150 minutes with 2 or more days of muscle strengthening. Because of this, she is much more likely to keep her current chronic diseases and possibly get more.
So you say you bike to the store. Are there any other ways that you get to the store or your volunteer place?
The only thing I can do is bike or walk. The ATA bus is $1 a ride, and I'd rather use that money on food for my family, so I chose the free Apple bikes provided by the community, or I just walk.
Although Mary is living in poverty, she is fortunate enough to get government assistance like food stamps and welfare. Along with that, Manhattan residents were lucky enough to provide green Apple bikes to the town for free, and the walking distances are relatively short. In other towns, walking distances are much longer and the streets are much more broken down. She still struggles with her physical ailments and is still in desperate need for proper health care.